Wow, guys, look what came in. Issue 79 and 80 is what we're going to be working on today. I don't want to bore you with the specifics, but I'm going to tell you what. We're going to continue doing our final stages for the headlights. Okay? So let's go ahead and take a quick gander at what we're about to adventure. Real quick, we're just going to show you what we're going to be doing here for stage 79. We're going to get our bar going and everything. We've got our springs. Then once we get the bar going, we're going to place it into these little bracket areas that are on our base. Once we put them in there, then we're going to make sure everything's good to go. Now, if you got some oil or whatever, you can apply it on there. It wouldn't hurt it. It'll lubricate things a little bit easier and such, but it doesn't require it here. Um, but it does say, all right, up here, like I was saying about the oil, it does retrieve the body frame and carefully turn it over. If you wish, you can apply a little bit of lubricant oil to indicated areas of the engine. So you can only really put them here. So if you have the oil, by all means. But I don't have that. So, the only thing I do have is maybe some, like, I don't know, something that comes close to that, but it's not really an oil. So we're gonna let it just sit the way it is. All right, I'm gonna try to find a way to get around that so it stays lubricated enough to move nice and easy. Other than that, though, I digress. Here's what else we're gonna be doing. We're gonna put in some springs, and then once that's in, this bar will then have both of the lights ready to go to move up and down, and then we're going to move on to stage 80. And stage 80, I'll relieve that to you guys here in a little bit, because I think 79 was a lot to take in. So without further ado, I'm going to take you down to the bench, and we'll knock this out with no issue. So real quick, here's our parts, okay? As you can see here, we have one part here. Now, our first stage is obviously to put this on. There's only one way to put it on because it has a groove. So we're just going to slide this right on into place. Okay. Now, it says here that we're going to take it and bring it all the way down. All right. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to attempt to take it all the way down. All right. And it seems like it doesn't want to. So that's a bit of an issue there, guys. All right. So what we're going to do is once that's down there, everything's good to go. It wants us to then take a screw, which is an AM screw, and then we're going to put it in. But it says that it goes on the other side. So once I get it in here and things are good to go, then yeah. But until then, we're just going to wing it the way it shows. All right. So hang in there, guys. So the AM screw is in, and that is a pretty good deal. Now, there is also another piece. It's only going in one way, okay? And then you'll look here, you'll see that. So we're going to put it up just like so, okay? Because now you have to have it up like this, and we're going to slide this inside, okay? Because like I said, it only goes in one way, all right? Which is, yeah. Okay, this is a little different than what they're showing on here. So let me go back, take a peek. All right, something don't seem just right. Figured that mess out, and of course we're going to take another AM screw. I'm going to go ahead and put that in there. So I'm going to grab this AM screw. We're going to go ahead and put now that in. The three parts that we were mentioning. All right, I'm going to use my little pointer are here, here, and here. I don't really have much lubricant for those spots. So what I've decided to do is just go ahead and just put them in. So what's going to happen is you're going to take your piece. It says here, remember the dumbbell thing, all right? The dumbbell one is just going to go right up into that one, okay? And then these two will be there. Now, obviously, you want to make sure that everything is in line and good to go, okay? It is a very imperative thing that you want to make sure that everything is lined up. Now, you want the little gizmos here to kind of go in the forward position. You don't want them back here in the back. They really won't fit, okay? It just won't, okay? I mean, if you put it in like this, it's not going to fit right, okay? Because it's going to hit a back plate. So you need to make sure that that's there, okay? Because these are only allowed to go a certain amount of spaces before it hits a wall, and then it's going to come up. Now, the other thing we have to do is we have to get our clamp pieces. All right, and those clamp pieces are one that's going to go here, okay, because there's one for the right and one for the left, okay. So one for the right and one for the left. And like I said, if you had them lubricated, great, but we're going to try it without that because I don't think it's necessary, because it says only if you'd like to. So that's fine with me. And then we have our GM screws. What I'm going to do is put them into these two holes and these two holes. All right. And so, of course, we made sure that this rides nice and smooth, which it does, which is nice. So that's all step 7 is. All right. So without the lube, it still moves nice and freely. All right. And that's convenient. So step 8, we're going to go in with these. These here are going to go in towards where the light bars are. And the reason why is for that is because these springs and these bars are going to line up. So that way this rod will be able to open both windows simultaneously. Okay, so now we go into the whole mounting deal. All right, and that's going to be kind of easy. All right, there's one where there's a hole that goes all the way through, and one that clips on with this. So we're just going to line it up, give you an idea of how it's going to go. And then once you get that lined up, all right, oops, not supposed to fall, but once you get it lined up in these two, then you go ahead and screw it in with some GM screws. So we're going to go ahead and do that because the next part's going to be very tricky, okay, for step 9. So with that in mind, here's how we do this, all right? The springs have to go wrapped around. Once you're done, you get them in and attach them to the lights themselves. And you have to wrap the spring around so it goes behind. And it'll go right behind. It'll fit right in there. And then, of course, once you do all that, you'll feel that spring tension. And then, obviously, it'll push them back down. All right? So you want to make sure everything moves pretty good. All right? And so far, doing my little test here, it works fine. So now we're just going to move on to our next little step. Of course, we're going to start off now with stage 80. Since everything went good here, we don't need to follow anything that's an issue or anything like that, or troubleshoot anything. So we're going to show you real quick what we're doing here for 80. Since this was one of the things that we've been dying. We got a lot going on here, guys. We're going to put a cover over our motor, which is over here. We're going to take the motor, we're going to put it in place so that way it moves the lights and everything. Then we're going to cover it up with our plates. Once we do all that, we'll make sure that all of our cords follow within the lines and get hidden behind everything. We're going to store that up. Then we can run a test, but we're going to run that test behind the scenes. We're gonna try to knock that out behind the scenes, and then once I have that done up, I'll do a quick video showing you how it really works, so you guys can feel a little comfy. But we'll see how it goes. Okay, we'll see how it goes, and then once that's done, obviously we're gonna show you the lights coming on and everything. So without further ado, let's go back here to this stages and start knocking them out. If you haven't done so already, get that motor, unplug it from your interior body, and then we're going to go ahead and mount it right into our little spot. So I'll be right back. So here we have it, guys. We have our motor. Now, there's really only one way you want to put that motor in, okay? And you want to put it in just like so, okay? Now, this motor is going to sit nice and snug, so don't be afraid, okay? gonna fit nice and snug. Hold on now. I want to get it lined up just right. Okay, here we go. That looks about right. Okay, that seems about right. It seems about right. Yeah. Yeah, seems about right. I'm gonna give it a guess there that that's where we need it to be. All right. Our next phase, obviously, is once it's in place, you're definitely going to want to put in our brackets, which are here and here. So what we're going to do is we're going to put on our plate. Okay. The plate actually will be going on in a way where it's like this. All right. It's kind of weird. I don't know how or why, but it just comes off kind of weird here, guys. It's kind of weird how it's doing this. So let me double check something. So there you have it, guys. It's going just like that. Okay. I was trying to follow the pictures, but I got distracted with how it seems to go. And then we also have another piece, which is this one, and this one's going to go kind of like right up above. So apparently, it's going to go up above the mount. That's the way it kind of shows on our thing. So it's going to sit just like this, and then it's going to screw in here, and then we're going to take some screws and we're going to screw them in, and those are screws. So we're going to grab our little screws, and we're going to get these two done, and then when we come over to this side, that's where we're going to be using a screw. Okay, so hopefully we didn't confuse you, but you have this piece and this piece. This piece goes on top of this one. Put it in with the screws and then our screws. I didn't put it too tight, so I didn't want anything to cause friction within our axle bar here. So our next phase, after all this is said and done, is basically we're going to secure the wires, okay? And that's where our little pieces like this and this are going to come into play, because we got to secure all these wires to come down here to the driver's side, where they all will meet up later on here on the driver's side. Well, there we have it, guys. It is all lined up and good to go. Got all the cords, everything taped it up on the side here as it says in the book. Now, I also want to go and give this a test. So what I'm going to do is ask you if you'd like to. You can hang in there and watch us as we test this. We're going to bring over the main body, and then kind of just show you how we're doing it, and then get the lights to work just the way that they're supposed to. So like I said, if you want to stick around for the last few minutes of the video, you can. If not, then we'll catch you on our next adventure here with the Night Rider. But don't forget to like and share before you go. It helps our channel out a lot, because we're not monetized. We don't get any money from YouTube. This is nothing but free stuff out of my pocket to kind of show you guys what's going on with the Night Rider. Other than that, guys, let's go get the body. If you're sticking around, I'm going to show you how I have it all connected, and then we're going to go through the motions with our Night Rider lights. Well, guys, thank you again for sticking around. It's really cool because we have our mic lane controller here. I'm going to go ahead and hit the magic button. We wait a few seconds, and then Kitt will fire herself right up, or fire himself right up. The lights pop up, the scanner activates, okay? Once the scanner activates, all the other gizmos go in. How cool is that, guys? Okay. So everything lights up. Now, of course, the lights are yellow. I couldn't prevent that. That's just the way that the bulbs are. So they're yellow instead of being white. So if I could have Knowing that in the head of time, I probably would have just spray painted them white. But hey, we're going to move on. No big deal. I'm going to go ahead now and end the video here. I'm going to power down Kitt, and we're going to get ready to give you guys. We're going to give you guys the next video. Okay. Of course, this is just a startup. So, what we'll do is we'll do the next thing. All right. And yeah, so let's go ahead and fire him down, and get ready for our next adventure here with Bill, the Night Rider.
Scanning your vital signs. Your blood pressure is 190/120 and your pulse is 104.
Well, that's all right. Thank you, Kitt, but we're going to turn you off today.